Why is complete archaeological context recording crucial? Imagine finding a beautiful artifact but not knowing where it was originally placed or what it was near. That's like having a puzzle piece without the rest of the picture. In archaeology, every piece of the puzzle depends on knowing exactly where and how objects are found. When archaeologists dig into the ground, they don't just pull out items and walk away. They carefully record the position, depth, and surroundings of each find. This process is called context recording. It's like taking a detailed snapshot of the site at the moment of discovery. Without this, the story behind the artifact can be lost forever. Excavation is a destructive process. Once soil is removed, the original arrangement of objects is gone. The only way to remember how everything was arranged is through detailed notes, sketches, photographs, and maps made during the dig. These records become the permanent archive of the site. Future researchers relying on this information to understand what was found, where, and in what order. If the context isn't recorded properly, the artifact becomes just an isolated object with no clear story. Its age, purpose, or relationship to other objects can't be accurately determined. Context recording also helps establish the timeline of a site. When archaeologists note which objects are in the same layer of soil, they can tell which activities happen together. Layers of soil, called stratigraphy, act like pages in a history book. By examining these layers, archaeologists can piece together how a site was used over time. Without this layering, it's impossible to tell if objects are from the same period or different periods. This chronological order is essential for understanding how ancient societies evolved and interacted. Another key reason for detailed context recording is understanding how different objects relate to each other. For example, if pottery and tools are found together in the same layer, it suggests they were used in the same activity. If certain artifacts are concentrated in specific areas, archaeologists can identify activity zones like workshops or storage spaces. These patterns only become clear through systematic documentation of the site's spatial relationships. Good context recording also helps teams work efficiently during excavation. When everyone documents carefully, they can see what has been uncovered and how it fits into the bigger picture. This coordination prevents missing important relationships or making mistakes. If new evidence appears later, detailed records allow archaeologists to revisit their previous interpretations and adjust their understanding. Once a site is disturbed, it cannot be restored. The original arrangement is lost forever. That's why detailed field records are so important. They preserve the site's story for future generations. Museums and research institutions requiring complete documentation with artifacts because these records contain information that cannot be recovered later. In the field of archaeological science and methods, context recording is a systematic way of ensuring that excavation becomes a source of real knowledge. It transforms a destructive process into a careful collection of data. Proper documentation makes sure that every artifact's story is preserved, and the bigger picture of the past can be pieced together accurately. This approach is what separates professional archaeology from simple artifact collecting. It allows us to build reliable stories about human history based on well-documented evidence.